Hey friends, welcome to Church Free Spirituality for this week. So we're talking today about voting. In Church Free Spirituality, we know that everything is part of our spiritual practice. There is no place where spirituality is absent. And yet so often we don't look at voting as part of our spiritual practice. So I want to take some time today to shift how we look at voting and recognize it as part of our spiritual practice. And we'll look at how we vote. So I'm not talking about who you vote for or the ideas and policies you support. I'm talking about how you vote. What is the focus behind your choice in how you vote? Because that is going to determine how your spiritual practice, your spiritual power determines what happens in our society and in our community. Because see, we are creative beings. We are, as expressions of spirit, we are like what spirit is. So spirit creates through self-contemplation. That in the Bible it talks about the word of God moved upon the waters, or I forget exactly how the phrase goes, but this word of God idea, that word is not a spoken word necessarily, although that's part of it. It's that self-contemplation, it's that focus on what is desired. And us, as emanations of that, we do the exact same thing. Our word, the things we speak, are part of the co-creative capacity that we have, but so is what we think about and what we focus on. And when we have something like voting, something where our opinion gets to be heard, our opinion gets to be counted in the creation of our society, it's important to look at how we're voting to make sure that it is truly the opinion that we want to be counted that gets counted. So here's what I mean by that. A lot of us in this country vote against a political party. We say, I don't like party X, so I'm going to vote straight down the ticket party Y. I don't care who's in this party. Party X is evil. I'm voting party Y. We might say, you know what? I love party X. I don't think party Y is really good, but I just love party X, so I'm voting straight down party X. Now the problem with that is that we're not, in both of these cases, we're not focusing on what we want to create, are we? If we're voting against a particular party, what we're doing is we're putting our energy into againstness. We're putting our energy into this person is wrong, this group of people is wrong, this group of people is awful and evil and terrible. And when we vote that way, well, we may be marking a box for a particular person or a particular party or a particular ideology. The vision that we are holding while we make our voice and our choice known is a position of wrongness, againstness, and antagonism. And if you've noticed, in our country, regardless of what your political affiliation is, we have a whole lot more of that wrongness, againstness, and antagonism than we have ever had before. In part because when we vote from a vision of this group of people is wrong and that group of people is wrong. Now, if we're voting from the I love this particular party perspective, so I'm just going to vote for this party, our focus is not on our ideal for our society, but on that particular party. The problem with that is that we fall into this tribalistic ideal that I am part of this party, and so whatever this party says goes. And we can see it in Democrats and Republicans and Libertarians and Green Party people in every single party. We see this, where we fall into this tribal ideal, and it doesn't matter really what the party is saying, we go along with it because that's my tribal identity. Because when I go to vote, I say the most important thing to me is this particular party, not my vision. So friends, how we vote is we look at what our vision for our world is. What's your vision for America? What's your vision for your community? What is the highest ideal you can imagine? Not against any one idea or any one policy, not for or against pro-life or pro-choice. What is it that you are envisioning as a holistic view for what you want for the country? And then, from that high vision, from that loving vision, from that vision that includes every single person regardless of what they think or feel, because friends, in spirituality we understand that God is all there is, Spirit is all there is only one life happening. It's living as each and every one of us, so if we exclude anybody in our vision, we're excluding ourselves in that vision. And remember, if you want to go a little biblical, you can say, hey, Jesus said that which you do to the least of these you do to me. So if you exclude anybody, you are excluding that Christ presence as well. So when you have this idea, this vision, this grand utopia that you want to create for this country and for the world, and you hold that vision while you vote, recognizing that the choices you have are probably not going to live up to that vision. And that's okay. But if you look at the ballot from the perspective of, here is the vision that I am going for. Now, who is best able to help me create that vision? Then your focus is not stuck on a party, is not stuck on againstness. Your focus is on the vision that you have to create for our country, for our society, for our world, a vision that is loving, that is kind, that includes everybody. And when you make your choice known, when you vote, when you raise your voice in this metaphorical, metaphysical way through the voting process, with your focus on your vision for society that lovingly includes everybody, rather than being tied to a tribal ideal of this party or againstness with this party or againstness with the two-party system, whatever it might be, you are then ingraining into your vote your vision instead of the thing you do not want. Friends, it is almost time to vote. This is one of the most important things we can do throughout the year. Whether you call yourself a Republican, a Democrat, a liberal, an independent, a libertarian, a Green Party, a democratic socialist, whatever you call yourself, I don't care. I care that you vote. And I care that you vote from your vision of what you know this country and our society can be when it is connected and loving, rather than voting from what you don't want. So friends, let's take the time this time to really envision the society that we want to have. And make sure you go out and make your voice known in your communities, at your polling place, in consciousness, and in the universe with how you focus when you go into that ballot box. Thank you, friends, for joining us for Church Free Spirituality for this week. Thank you for going out to vote. Share this video wide because we can get this perspective to as many people as possible, and those people will change their ideas on how we vote. Then maybe we'll get a different outcome. And friends, I know that regardless of your political affiliation, we all want a different outcome than what we've been seeing recently. Thank you so much for joining me in voting and for joining me in the spiritual perspective of life. Like, share, subscribe, comment below. We'll have a conversation. And as always, you can get the book, Church Free Spirituality, on Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com, anywhere that you get books. Thank you so much, friends. Have a wonderful week. Go vote. We'll see you next time.